Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm still trying to get used to it being 2017, not 2016.
I am used to it. I was ready for it. I was waiting for it.
I know, but it's just weird. It's like now when I write that down, I'm like 2017. How did that happen? Coming up later in the program, we're going to be talking with her dad, my father-in-law. His name is Charles. We talk to him every Tuesday with Tuesdays with Charlie. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Also, according to researchers, American Time Use Survey and Pew Research Center, that's who did it, parents together now spend 27.6 hours a week on chores, down from 36.3 in 1965. Some of the new free time is being spent on their children. They spend 20.8 hours a week on childcare, up from 12.7 in 1965. Does not say on here how much time we spend on social media. I'll bet that's a big number.
Yeah, but that's a really big number.
I'm on there too much, and my friends are on there way too much. We should all make a resolution to kick that habit.
I have a feeling this year I'll probably be closing my account altogether.
I have a lot of friends that actually did that. That was their Facebook. They posted a thing like at the end of 2016 saying, bye-bye, Facebook, and interesting stuff. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, January the 3rd, 2017. Still getting used to that. Memento Mori, Remember You Die Day. What? What? I don't know what that means. National Chocolate-Covered Cherry Day. Do you like chocolate-covered cherries?
I do.
There are some that are really good, and then there's some that have too much of that white stuff in there. I'm like, that's too much of that.
I love the white stuff. The white stuff is the best part.
Cherry's good. Chocolate's good. I'll chew through that stuff to get to the cherry. It is Drinking Straw Day today, and it's J.R.R. Tolkien Day today.
I love straws.
Do you?
I do.
Do you like
eating not notice that I always have a straw?
Chocolate-covered cherries through straws?
No.
No, that would be kind of hard, wouldn't it? Have you ever noticed when we go to a restaurant, what's the first thing I do when they bring my drink?
You take the straw out.
Yeah, I sit it on the table. Get that away from me.
I love straws.
I'm not a straw fan. I don't need a straw. I'm a big boy now. I can drink without the straw.
I don't like the ice hitting my teeth, though, which is weird because I insist on chewing all the ice.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Coming up, we've got your moment of duh. We've got your brain on drugs. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution is to quit smoking, I want to help. This is one of the biggest resolutions every year. I met a hypnotist that's been able to help people with this one. He can send you a Stop Smoking Hypnosis CD program that you just listen to, and it's designed to help you quit smoking. It's available at a discount for our listeners right now at radiosavings.com. Get the tobacco-free CD program for just $40. That offer is available right now at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. You think the drivers around here are bad? Well, they probably are, but they're not the only ones. According to a national driver's test, this is a survey, roughly 18 million currently licensed drivers in the United States would flunk their driver's test if they had to take it today.
Whoa.
18
That's
million.
a big number.
That is a big number, and I got a feeling that we would probably both fall in that.
I wouldn't.
You don't think you'd fail your driving?
I don't.
The written test? You know all the rules?
I know the rules.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I do. What?
We should go and get a driver's test and take it just to see. That would be fun. To see if you
That would be fun. Nobody likes to go to the DMV.
It's like now I'm not saying we would do it there. I mean, we should see if we can find like a driving test online. So, I don't know. But it's concerning that in this study, 18
You're going to have to
million.
Kill this spider.
Oh yeah. You don't want him hanging out for the whole show?
Not right next to me.
Okay. Well, and he's going for your calendar. I got a question. Why do we have so many spiders?
I don't know.
What is the deal? Do we have spider food?
I don't know, but I think it's time for a break. We got to go.
Okay, we'll be back in a bit. Just want to remind you, 18 million currently licensed drivers are cruising around out there that would not pass a driver's test if they were to take it today. That is a concerning thing. And you know, it's where'd you go? Why don't you come back, Heidi? I'll get rid of that spider. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. All right, I got to go catch a spider.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain. And this is your Brain on Drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your Brain on Drugs. Adam Vickers and Kyle Wisdom, well, I don't know if wisdom's quite the right word for him. That's his last name, though. They tried to punk a friend, but the police are not laughing, Heidi. Authorities said the pair staged a murder scene.
Oh.
Made it look like Wisdom killed Vickers. The target of the practical joke was their friend Daniel Merez. He panicked and called the police. Police in Central Point, Oregon, rushed to the scene. They ordered a lockdown of a nearby school. Officers say the two jokers had been drinking quite a bit. Both men were busted, now face a number of charges, including conspiracy to commit a crime. And
What?
Merez, the guy that called the police, was also arrested for possession of speed.
Oh, wow.
So all of these guys were making really bad choices.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
But at least he knew he had to call the cops. I
Yeah.
mean, instead of trying to help his friends cover it up, he did the right thing, really.
Yeah, I guess at the
by
end
calling
of the
the
day,
cops.
so.
But yeah, not smart.
I'm going to have to, right now, admit to homicide as well. That poor little spider.
Thank
Heidi
goodness.
made me kill him. I wanted to record that and put it online, but there was so many obscenities coming from Heidi that it would not be a good thing. Kids would not be able to watch that video. So anyway, thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. The moment of duh is on the way.
John and Heidi.
In Darlington, England, a 22-year-old roofer named Gary McKenzie is actually on trial for passing gas at a 16-year-old boy right in his face.
He's on trial for
Yeah.
that?
This is our moment of duh. Gary says it was just an accident, but prosecutors say not only was it intentional, but it constitutes cruel bullying. McKenzie is also accused of punching his victim and trying to suffocate another child with a pillowcase.
Okay, well,
This guy's not a good
in
dude.
those situations, he deserves to be on trial.
The victim claims that after McKenzie broke wind in his face, he said, "Why'd you do that?" McKenzie replied, "Because I wanted to be nasty." He's British. I'm assuming it sounded something like that. Probably not close. Anyway, 22-year-old tooted in a 16-year-old's face, and he's on trial for that. Can you imagine?
I think he's probably on trial for trying to suffocate somebody.
But can you imagine
with
going
a
to jail?
pillowcase.
If you go to jail and you're in there, and everybody else is in there for some like real crime, and they're like, "So what'd you do?" And you're like, "I passed gas in the face of some."
Did you read the rest of the reasons he's on trial?
Suffocating with a pillowcase
And punching someone in the face.
Well, he just made a bad choice or two. That's how he ended up as our moment of duh.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. We're heading back to Britain. Our last story was about a British chap as well. But the Britons are trying to cheer up their hospitalized friends and relatives, but they're going to have to do so while standing. I guess there's a big problem with them going into the room and sitting on the bed. Would you do that?
I've sat on the edge of the bed before.
Well, you're not supposed to do that. I've never done that. I've never walked in and said, "Hey, you're not feeling good. Let me jump on your bed." I've never even considered that. Says here, it's no longer allowed. In a commentary published recently in the British medical journal BMJ, Dr. Iona Heath argues that the recommendation is unjustified and denies patients the chance to be close to their loved ones. British authorities, though, claim the ban on sitting is needed to prevent patients from getting infected by visitors and healthcare staff. So I guess healthcare staff was plopping down on the beds, too.
It's not like you're climbing up next to them and laying down and sprawling out and eating their Jell-O. Like when you go into a hospital room, at least with my family, there's 15, 20 people in there at a time. And they give you like one chair.
They just need to put in stadium seating. That's what they need.
Right? For my family, they do.
I don't know. Interesting stuff. Hey, a group of scientists say there's a tiny chance, Heidi, that an asteroid might hit Earth in 2036 and kill us all.
I'll be long dead by 2036.
No, you won't.
Oh, yeah, I will. I'll be dead in about a
20
month.
years. No, 20 years from now. Less than 20 years. They feel that an attempt should be made to deflect it. So, okay, this is a group of scientists who said there's a tiny chance that it could hit us. Now they're going, should we do something about it? Yeah, probably. If you're right about the first thing, then yeah, you better work on the second thing. There were 2 different movies that came out about that. One was called
Armageddon.
And what was the other one called?
I don't know.
Me neither. But it was the same year. It came out like the same time. Armageddon and that other one with that one guy. You know the one.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
You
I don't
don't?
even remember another one.
Oh yeah. It had. We'll have to Google that or something. I can't think of it right now. Deep Impact, is that? I don't know. Yeah, we'll think of something. I'll tell you what it is here in a bit. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Vale Reese once awarded his Skinny Awards for bad skin to Brad Pitt for his acne scars and Angelina Jolie for her moles, tattoos, and abdominal scars. Who is this guy? He's a dermatologist? He's like, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are not beautiful enough. Really? You must be one handsome dude to be able to point at them and go, look at this riffraff. Can you even imagine doing that?
No.
How great does
And
he
I can
must
think
be,
of way worse people than Brad Pitt's skin for acne. What's that one actor's name?
I don't know.
Not Tommy Lee Jones. One of them has super deep
Can
acne
we just quit
scars.
pointing out? We are not perfect either.
Well, no, I'm not
do that.
saying that we
This
are,
dude
but I'm
right
saying
here-
if he's going to point fingers, why Brad Pitt out of everybody?
I don't know.
That's ridiculous. And Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, these are 2 of the most beautiful people on the
Right.
planet, according to like every magazine at checkout counters everywhere. So anyway, not saying that I'm a fan of either. I'm just saying, that's what the absolutely journalistic integrity publications at the checkout aisle say.
She
So.
really could get a skinny award, though. She's way too thin. Way too
A
thin.
skinny award means skin. It's about
I
their
know,
skin.
but if she were to get one, it would make sense.
Let's just move on. Is there a doctor on board? Surprisingly often, there is. About half of in-flight medical emergencies where sick passengers, survive, it's because they happen to have people on the flight. About 44,000 of the 2.74 billion passengers worldwide are medical people. So quite often,
if you think about how many people are in the medical field, odds are pretty darn good. There's going to be at least one on a flight of 300 people.
yeah. So it's like, hey, is there a doctor on board? And they're like, well, this whole aisle stands up. Yes, we're all going to a medical conference. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, it's going to do it for your scoop of the day. I had way more stuff to talk about, but we kind of beat a dead horse on like 5 of those stories. So sorry about that. And I'm going to have to figure out what that other movie was called. We'll work on that back in a bit. Also, we have Tuesdays with Charlie on the way.
John and Heidi.
Radio advertising works. When it's done right, it works even better. There are many things you can do to get a better response, and shouting sale really isn't the best thing, believe it or not. Did you know that when you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable? If you're trying to get people to remember your company, consider a jingle. We work with one of the very best jingle companies in the business, and we'd love to use music to help you grow your company. Learn more and hear examples at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone, we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing great.
Very good. Well, before we get to Charlie, something we talked about in our last break, we were talking about 2 movies that came out at the same time, and one was Armageddon, the other one was Deep Impact, so I was right. So Heidi shook her head when I said Deep Impact before. I was just like, no.
Well, because I've seen that movie, and that's,
That's
not
a
what that
different-
movie.
No. Charlie, listen to your daughter.
It's a completely different movie.
Oh,
You
man.
could have saved that and asked me. I'd have known the answer.
Oh, hey, I should have. That should have been. Well, son of a gun. Well, so, Charlie, what kind of cool stuff are we going to learn about today?
Hey, did you know that 60% of people can't have a 10-minute conversation without lying at least once?
No
Oh.
kidding. Wow.
Well, that's why we always do about a 5-6 minute segment here.
Try to keep it under 10, yes.
Okay, hey, I don't do this, but I don't know if you guys do, but drinking 600 milliliters of soda a day ages a person as nearly the same rate as smoking.
No kidding.
Whoa.
So if you smoke and drink a lot of pop, you're really, really getting old.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, in the late 90s, you know Coke, Coca-Cola.
Yes. It's my favorite soda.
They tested vending machines that would automatically change prices based on the temperature outside.
Oh, that's
The higher
actually
the temperature,
brilliant.
the higher the price.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's a great idea.
That must not have worked, though, because they don't do that no more. Hey, the Earl of Oxford once farted in front of Queen Elizabeth and was so ashamed he left the country for 7 years.
No kidding. You would never be able to come back.
Well, I would never be ashamed.
you would ask her to pull your finger.
You thought you liked that one? Pull this.
Come on, Queenie.
Hey, then, a good morning kiss can help protect you against stress-related illness.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
I'm going to have to get more good morning kisses.
Well, you're supposed to get one a day.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to get at least one a day. That'll reduce
One
my
in the
stress
morning,
level.
one at night.
Okay. A good morning kiss at night.
That's all you get.
It's like you know us.
Hey. This is the new year, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got one last thing here for you then.
What's that?
Dogs feel most vulnerable when pooping.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I
So they
know
look
that.
to their owners for protection, which often results in awkward staring.
Yeah,
I've seen
noticed.
And I've seen your dogs poop, and they're really awkward, let me tell you.
It is kind of awkward.
I've noticed they stare
Like,
like right at us, like
would ya?
you got my back, right?
Usually when you look at a dog, they look away, but that's the one time they won't look away. Like, you're piercing my soul. Please, look the other way. All right, Charlie, you ready for your question?
Look at that log I just laid there. Look at that.
You ready for your question, Charlie?
Sure.
All right. Back in 1998, there were two movies that came out at the same time. One was called Armageddon. What was the other one that was really similar to it?
Something about impact. I don't know.
It was Deep Impact. No, in all seriousness, I'll ask you this: who was somebody in that movie? Can you tell me one actor that was in that movie?
And which one?
Either one of them.
Are you crazy?
I'm just
Bruce
kidding.
Willis.
He's supposed to tell me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, he wasn't in either of those. No.
Close?
No. Bruce Willis was kind of the star of the one, and then the other was Robert Duvall. He was pretty cool. That was in the Deep Impact.
I don't
one,
even
so.
remember that film.
It was
at
actually
all.
better, according to many, so we'll have to check it out. I've seen it. It was years ago. So there you go. Well, Charlie.
Don't ask me movie questions.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't ask him any questions, really.
Always fun to chat with you, Charlie. We'll talk again next week.
I'll be here.
All right. Thanks, Charlie.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
When is the last time you changed the air filter on your furnace? Now, don't be embarrassed. That happens to a bunch of us. The furnace filter should be changed often. This will help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently, and it'll even extend the life of your system. Now, there's an easy way to make it happen. Filter Easy, a new subscription service that delivers your size filter right to your door on the schedule you choose. It's easy. Filter Easy. One less thing to worry about. Learn about a special offer available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The word okay was popularized in 1840, and it's from a club that Martin Van Buren is in his honor. The OK Club stands for his nickname, Old Kinderhook. So if you say you're okay, you're signifying that you were part of his club.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Pierre Michelin, inventor of safe car tires, died in a car accident.
Oh.
How sad is that?
That's sad.
Yeah, it's like the dude from what's that thing? The Paul Blart Road? What are those called?
I know what you're talking about. Segway.
Segway, yeah. The inventor of the Segway scooter drove off a cliff on a Segway. You know, it's kind of weird when you think about those kind of things. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Tootsie Roll creator, Leo Hirschfeld, got the name Tootsie from where?
That movie with...
Way before that. But you're on the right track. Tootsie was his daughter's nickname.
Oh.
Yeah. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
India has a Bill of Rights for cows. Yeah.
Well, I knew they were sacred. I didn't know they had a Bill of Rights
There
for
you
them.
go.
That's
And
so
they do.
ridiculous.
Coming up, we've got more fun stuff on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard
Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year. It's a new you. It's time to start thinking about things maybe we haven't thought about in the past. Because, you know, when you're talking about a new you want it to really be you and not somebody else, right?
Sure.
When you get your credit card receipts, do you throw them away or what do you do with them? Do you shred them?
We don't have credit card receipts.
But I'm saying, like, we have debit card receipts. So even those, what do you do with those? We save them because I give them to you. And then what do you do with those?
I put them in a folder for
Okay.
taxes.
See, there you go. So, but they're saying it's only the last 4 digits, right? What can anyone do with that? Well, apparently a lot. CreditCards.com warns consumers to treat their credit card receipts as though they carry sensitive information. Scam artists who get a hold of your receipts can use those last 4 digits of your card to try to get the other numbers. They do this by tracking down your phone number, calling you for a phishing scam for the rest of it, perhaps posing as your card issuer or pretending to be the utility company asking for the full number to verify an account. Just remember this. Your credit card company will never, ever call you on the phone and ask you to provide your entire card number. They'll never do that. If anyone ever does that, it is a scam. Hang up and maybe even call the attorney general in your state to let them know, hey, this is going on. Because a lot of the time they're targeting an area. They're calling other people too. It says shred your credit card receipts when you no longer need them. So some good advice right there. I have a friend whose wife had her identity stolen. And they didn't even know it. It was like 4 years that this was going on. They didn't even know it till they went to buy a different vehicle. And when they went to get a different vehicle, her credit score was not so hot. And they're like, why would that have been? Like, what happened? It used to be great. And they started digging into it. And there was somebody that spent a ton of money and had like credit cards, all these things that were open on her, listed as her. She wasn't getting the mail because the mail was going to the other address where these people had
Well, how
it set.
stupid is that? I mean, you know who's doing it. If
No.
the mail is getting sent
No.
to the address of the person who's doing it.
No, because the way that this person got caught finally is they had a bunch of people that they were doing this, and there was some guy that kept getting mail that was directed to other people coming to his address. They were using a fake address too, so crazy stuff. Anyway, just be yourself out there. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution was to lose weight, you're not alone. This is the single biggest resolution every year. And every year, millions of people try, and many fail. I met a hypnotist that's been able to help people with this one. He can send you a weight loss hypnosis program on CD that you just listen to, and it's designed to help you reduce the cravings. It's available at a discount for our listeners right now at radiosavings.com. Get the weight loss CD program for just $50. That offer is available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Hey boys, want to make the ladies in your life happy? Clean the darn house. Do the laundry. A survey found that women felt that they do too darn much work compared to the guys in their lives. They said the guys will score some points with their mates. Must be a British thing. With their mates by doing household chores rather than taking them to romantic dinners. So they're saying instead of taking them out for a fancy meal, do the laundry. Do the dishes, those kind of things. Here's a good idea. Do both.
Aw.
What's wrong with that?
I agree with that, though. It's nice to have some help. You've been really good lately about doing laundry and then
The dishes. And
emptying the dishwasher
of course.
and stuff.
It's not that hard. Modern men are clearly missing the trick, says psychologist Gary Cooper. Really? Oh, no, Carrie Cooper. I was like, how cool is that, Gary Cooper? Anyway, it says if they did a little more to help around the house, they would reap rewards in the long run, if you know what I mean. That's me paraphrasing. Anyway, coming up, we're going to talk about
Our son even unloaded the dishwasher the other night.
Isn't that cool?
Unprompted. Yeah, just...
I'm teaching that boy well, ain't I?
yes.
I probably not teaching him anything. Anyway, coming up, we're going to talk about a healthy brain that's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Do you want a healthy brain, Heidi?
Everybody wants a healthy brain.
Stay in school and take the stairs. Those are the two recommendations that seem completely unrelated, but they're both going to help keep your brain younger and they're going to slow down the aging of gray matter. According to researchers at Montreal's Concordia University, the study measured the volume of gray matter found in participants' brains because of decline caused by neural shrinkage and neural loss in the visible part of the chronological aging process. They compared brain's volume to the participants reporting the number of flight of stairs that they climbed every year and the amount of schooling that they completed. So saying if you're taking the stairs instead of the elevator, and if you're going to school instead of, playing video games, they found that brain's age decreases by 0.95 years for each year of education and 0.58 years for every daily flight of stairs climbed. So
There you go.
it's a university saying that education is important, though. Do you think that? And that university probably has a lot of stairs. That's probably why they did that study. No, we don't want to put in an elevator because have you read the latest study? Speaking of universities, Princeton is in the news. We're going to tell you about them in a bit.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution was to quit drinking or to kick a drug habit, we want to help. Our friends at Keystone can help you determine the best program for your particular needs. This is something that really matters to me. My father was an alcoholic. He lost his battle at age 49. That's just too young. If you're searching for help, I hope my friends at Keystone can help you find the help you're looking for. Call 844-204-1055. That's Keystone, 844-204-1055.
John and Heidi.
When I say Princeton, what do you think of? Is there anything in particular? Like what would be some words that come to mind when I say Princeton?
Snooty.
So like if our child, or if we knew somebody that had a child that went to Princeton, would you think that they were above average intelligence, or do you think they're a bunch of morons?
I would think that they probably have a lot of money and were able to buy their way into the school.
But also, that's a prestigious Ivy League school where they're pretty well known for pretty smart folks, right?
Sure.
Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because I got an interesting story for you here. This is one of the dumbest stories I've ever read, and I am ashamed to say that it's attached to Princeton University. I mean, you guys, come on, you're Princeton. You shouldn't be doing this. A group of Princeton University physicists, so these are like people that are working there,
Sure.
have come to the conclusion that an Oreo cookie will always split with the cream filling on the same side.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. I wish I was kidding. I wish this was from some, community college or something, but it's Princeton. Princeton! Here's how it works. According to Princeton, and I got to make sure we say that because I want to give them all the credit they deserve on this, they say, position the Oreo box so that the text on the packaging faces the right way, and then take out the cookie in the upper left-hand corner. If the cream ends up on the left biscuit on one cookie, it will end up on the left biscuit for every cookie in that box.
That's a bunch of crap because I consider myself an expert in Oreos.
But you
and
pull them
I
out
did not
willy-nilly.
need to go to Princeton.
You pull them out willy-nilly and you eat them.
No. Listen, I have had the cream split, and I've had some on both cookies, so
You're
that
doing it
is
wrong.
a lie.
To test their theory, scientists brought hundreds of Oreos. Then they simply pulled the top of the cookie off from the bottom over and over, and they had a chance to prove their results. And they probably had government funding to do it. So you're gonna compete with Princeton because, hey, I have a hankering for Oreos.
I think that I am smarter than Princeton.
We
on
need to
this
sign
one.
up for a grant to outprove Princeton that Oreos are more random than that. But I got a feeling Princeton's going to win.
They didn't because I've done it.
All right.
I've eaten a lot of Oreos in my day.
Folks, who are you going to believe? Princeton or Heidi?
Heidi.
Yeah, we're going to take this one to Facebook to find out. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. By the way, chime in on this at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
And our final story of the program every day. How do I usually start this break? Oh, hey, good news, Heidi. That's what it is.
That's not how you start this one.
How do I start it?
We always like to end the program with a little bit of good news.
What she said. Yes. I'm still too busy dinking around with this Oreo thing. Thanks, Heidi. An Alabama second grader did not want her fellow classmates to go without this holiday season. This is just a heart-warming story. I love these. I love
know
these
you do.
stories.
You always
this-
tear up.
This young lady took it upon herself. Again, she's a second grader. Took it upon herself to give everybody in her class a present. Isn't that nice?
Aww.
Abby Henderson gave each of the 430 students
Holy cow.
at the Southview Primary School, and this is in Opelika, Alabama, gave a gift of a toy, some pencils, some candy, and a holiday cup. Her mom says the
Holy
8-year-old
cow.
the 8-year-old paid for the $200 in supplies by doing jobs around the house between Thanksgiving and the beginning of Christmas break. But she had noticed that, some of the kids didn't get stuff, and they'd get back from Christmas break, and everybody was talking about, I got this and I got this, and some of them were like, well, I didn't really get that. So she thought, I'm going to do something about it. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas, she saved up $200 doing odd jobs around the house and, helping out, and was able to do that for 430 students. That's
Holy
really,
cow.
really, really cool. And I hope that other people see that and look at that and say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that kind of thing happens at our school. We're going to make sure that kids get all the things that they need, And it's not that they got a ton of stuff. It was a bunch of little stuff, but everybody got something, which is really nice.
That's very nice.
I think that's really cool. I've got a link to this story at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. No, is it? Yeah, John and Heidi Show.
Yeah. My
I have to-
goodness.
I have
It's
to-
time for you to take a
It
break.
is. It's a good thing this program's almost done. So I've got a link to this story there. That's also where you can go for our little Oreo dilemma that we're having as well. Heidi thinks she's smarter than
I
Princeton.
am smarter than Princeton in this
Well-
particular situation.
I've already had some callers that agree with Heidi. So everybody thinks Princeton's a bunch of dunces these days.
Everybody's had an Oreo where the cream is on both sides of the cookie when you pull it apart.
Because you're doing it wrong. I mean,
How do you do it wrong?
I don't know. Just Princeton. Believe them. If you'd like to chime in, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.